Welcome back to the Vikings podcast. We are coming off our first season win. This is the place where you can get recaps, reviews, and our takes on our favorite team, the Minnesota Vikings. Like I said, we're coming off a win to start the season. The Vikings faced the Bears tonight in Chicago, roughly 15 miles away from where JJ McCarthy grew up. It was an NFC North battle that started with a slow and shaky beginning from the Vikings, but with 4 of the first 5 drives resulting in 4 and out, we were feeling a little down, but we knew that could easily be turned around. We did settle for 2 field goals in the first half, crushed by Will Reichard, Will the Thrill. Like I said, we thought this could get turned around, and it did happen. JJ McCarthy and the Vikings finally found a way to get 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. Took a while there, but we got it. Caleb Williams, we finally sacked him after chasing him around for 3 quarters. We had some Vikings really show up for us when more was required tonight to get that comeback win to start the season. So Phil and Lucas, all of us, we were at the Orion Pub in Sioux Falls, South Dakota tonight. We went through some frustrations, maybe a little bit of worry there, but as I mentioned, we were feeling something would change in that second half. So Phil and Lucas, what do you think about the close score of this game, 27-24?
Man, oh man, Lucas. Whew. I'd say we literally just got back from the bar, and it's fair to say that we are all pretty emotionally depleted.
Yes.
But in a good way. We're feeling good. In my opinion, Alana and Lucas, I think this game was just a quintessential 2020s Vikings game, where it's just that tale of 2 halves, should I say, or just such an up and down type. Spoke with my dad after the game. He didn't even watch most of the second half. He'd seen enough, He's in his mid-70s and has seen this team since they started and whatnot. And you know what? He kind of, and I can't blame him for, turning it off. But hey, we were there. We believed. As you'll see in the halftime update, I was jazzed up. I was ready. I didn't mention that the Bears were completely annihilating us up to that point. We saw Will the Thrill field goal. We saw, we'll get into this in a little bit. But anyways, I just think JJ, it was a shaky start. And we were kind of ready, honestly, to write him off towards the end of that first half there. And I can see I couldn't really see why anyone else wouldn't want to write him off, because there wasn't much to be seen from him. It didn't seem like KOC had faith in his quarterback to throw the ball downfield, get vertical with that thing. We were seeing a lot of short passes and whatnot. But as we end up seeing, this guy's a bona fide winner. And this is what we've been talking about in the preseason, mentioning his record and whatnot. And every game he has appeared in playing for the Vikings so far, which is 3, he has won. I will just say that right now. So his ability to just not get rattled is something we'll touch on in a little bit. But I think it was just fundamental to winning this game. And there's several other players that we saw. Loved what I saw from Jordan Mason. The defensive line, I think, played pretty good in this game. And special teams as well with Miles Price. Huge. Having a guy like that finally, I have a lot of faith in this guy. It's really exciting that we have him. I just think, overall, I would just say it was nice to have our expectations somewhat tempered from McCarthy's performance.
That's a good point.
I don't think he's going to end up being the second coming of Brady right away, or just some godlike quarterback. I think this is going to be a very developmental season, but I think he has the traits, and he showed all this resiliency, as I said, and just plenty of positive things to build on. And we got the W. And hey, divisional game week 1 away, that's huge. So great start. Great start in the sense that we got the W, just lots of things to improve on. And yeah, because happy that he got it done.
This is a game so much so that feels like a learning point for JJ McCarthy and this young Vikings team. I feel like, they really were able to overcome a ton of adversity. And I'm so happy that they're able to learn those lessons in this game without taking a loss. Like, it was about as dark as it could be. We're in a full Vikings bar, full of fans. We're so happy to be there. We're so thrilled to get this season kicked off. And the energy was so low. Everybody was so angsty for 3 quarters. I tried to keep the energy up, but it was even tough for me. And I try to be a very positive fan. And just incredible stuff. Really, I think this team going forward is going to be my favorite version of a Kevin O'Connell led team. Just, I was going to say offense, but the whole team really is incredible. I think JJ McCarthy embodies what Kevin O'Connell is all about. This guy really pulled it together in the fourth quarter. I mean, we really saw something special. I don't know what his mindset was for the first 3 quarters. Obviously nervous, obviously has a ton of jitters going in front of his friends and family. Can we say there was over 150 friends and family at this game?
Absolutely. Yeah. I wanted to mention that. Like, he had over, I believe in a report, 150 friends and family at attendance. He's from the Chicago area. So, I mean, that's a lot to have in your shoulders, especially, having this delayed start that he's had. So much hype around him with all the people in attendance and whatnot there. I mean, I've kind of had heard that they weren't going to put necessarily a lot on his plate early on. And we kind of saw that. I mean, there was not a whole lot of passing attempts in that first half, but granted, we had first 5 drives resulted in 4 3-and-outs. So there just wasn't a whole lot of momentum to get going on there. But yeah, I think he was a little bit rattled in that first half, which is to be expected,
Yeah. He also didn't really get the opportunities. You're right. Minimal pass attempts, a lot of runs on first and second down, getting behind the sticks with dumb penalties, delay of games. The crowd was really getting to JJ. But that fourth quarter, he was a completely different quarterback. So let's just hope that the first 3 quarters of this game were essentially more preseason, because we didn't really get to see our full team of starters out there for the preseason at all. And I think it showed. Chicago came out a little bit more polished, but we really showed by the end of that game that we were the superior team. So only made it out with a couple of injuries. Alanis, tell us more about the injuries from this game.
Yeah, so first of all, no Darisaw, no Harrison tonight. Noticed it right away.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had Justin School, kind of disappointing, not injured, but he struggled a bit. So we'll see what happens with him on the roster. Ty Chandler, I'm not sure what kind of injury he had, but he was in the tent for a little bit. He came out quickly, resumed his role on special teams, fine there.
Right.
Ryan Kelly, also not exactly sure what happened, but he was also in the tent for a bit during the third quarter. He was able to come back out and start the fourth quarter, so hopefully everything there is all right. Blake Cashman, he actually had to wait for Ryan Kelly to get out of the tent.
Yeah, it was like join the line.
Join the queue. He had a hamstring injury also in that third quarter. He was going after Caleb Williams. He remained out, I believe, for the rest of the game, so we don't know the extent of the injury. Hoping the best there. And a quick note on JJ McCarthy. I felt he looked serious as all heck at the beginning of that game.
He was locked in.
Yes, he was locked in. And despite those first quarters when I was thinking to myself, wow, this hurts to see Caleb running so much. Wow, when is our defense going to step up? We're punting more than we thought. That fourth quarter really made up for it and showed me the resilience that this team, I think, embraces and what kind of team they're going to be for the rest of the year. So, speaking of the team, let's go to awards. We have our Pride of Valhalla award, where Phil and Lucas talk about a standout Viking to them. Opposite of that, we also have the DogGonnit award, Viking that stood out for the wrong reasons. Phil, who do you have for your offensive Pride of Valhalla?
So this is pretty easy, Lucas. Not a whole lot of thought had to go into this one, and to giving it to just Jonathan James McCarthy. I was about to give him the doggone it. I would have, if I had my laptop in the bar there, I would have queued it in right into our document here. But like, no, it's kind of like what you said, Lucas. He just showed that that type of mindset that we want to see from a quarterback. And overall his stats for the game, he passed for 13 for 20, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had that rushing touchdown also in the fourth, which was huge. And then of course we have to talk about the 60-some yard pick 6, which was just such a crusher. I can't actually describe to you guys right now how much that scrambled my brain watching that, because that is a literal nightmare scenario, I think, that no Vikings fan wanted to see, and that JJ McCarthy's first touchdown pass is to a different team.
And I did not like the sleeper update that said JJ McCarthy throws his first touchdown pass. Shut up.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, I bet sleepers run by Packers fans or something, but
Could be.
I mean, for 3 quarters, we're the laughing stock of the entire NFL. I mean, the whole world is watching this game. Everybody that loves NFL football is watching Monday Night Football week 1, seeing what these young QBs have to offer. And we didn't give them anything for 3 quarters, but wow, did JJ show up in that fourth quarter.
Did he ever? I mean, after taking 3 sacks and whatnot, he ended up finishing out the game with a sub 100 QBR, despite throwing that pick 6, 98.5. Not bad.
Not bad.
And, he showed that goldfish mentality. He didn't lose his confidence throughout the entire game. And one thing that I thought was just fascinating was on our drive here, we heard a post-game interview with Jonathan Gennard, and they were asking him about McCarthy's performance that night. And there was almost like a pause. He was like, man. And then he's like, that guy, he just wouldn't stop, like going around the sideline and like dapping us up, saying like, we got this. And like, he wasn't shook at all. And like, it just seemed like Grenard was genuinely like, man, this guy has some heart. He has some fight in him to like, he just never lost that confidence and never got down on himself, which is just critical. And I think at the end of the day, we can be annoyed and bummed out about, his first half performance in his first ever NFL game, but you got to see a lot of stuff that Vikings fans have always wanted in a quarterback. And if Kevin O'Connell can further develop this guy with his win record and whatnot, and, we're speaking way out in the future here, but I'm saying who's to say 2-3 years down the line, we're not a consistent NFC championship contender again. Yay. You know what? I might just be riding high off this win, but I just loved what I saw from the QB there. Just maintaining his confidence and getting it done for us at the end, including that rushing touchdown. What a great play
Which I was saying the whole time that will happen this game. I don't know when. I thought it would be sooner.
That's right.
But it did happen.
You did call it. We were going to do halftime predictions. And Alana had said McCarthy's going to get his rushing touchdown after Caleb got his.
I said that. Yep.
So... So yeah, just loved what I saw from JJ. He's the pride of Valhalla for this week. Absolute dog. Can't wait to see him next week in person.
Shoot, I'm proud of him, and I'm excited to see him too. Another guy I'm excited to see, my pride of Valhalla, Jordan Mason. Amazing stuff from Mason tonight. We saw 15 carries for 68 yards, including a long carry of 19 yards in the fourth quarter, where he carried the entire Chicago Bears defense on his back. He would not be stopped. He refused to go down. He is my kind of running back, somebody who I hope the Vikings go forward with for years to come as their running back one. This guy is awesome. Love the way he ran through people tonight. It was so cool to see. Felt like he really established a tone for this Vikings offense when they could
100%.
not find any rhythm. Hand the ball to Jordan Mason. I saw some questionable blocking up front, especially along that left side with the backup left tackle School filling in. And then Will Fry's over there coming back from injury. It felt like there was some penetration on that left side, but Jordan Mason was able to sidestep guys in the backfield. So instead of taking a tackle for loss, he's falling forward for 4 or 5 yards. He's making something out of nothing. And I saw so many great runs from Jordan Mason. He made me so proud. I really feel like when you do have a running back that can run through people like that, yards after contact, fire a team up. When you have a guy who is willing to just, or is not willing to go down, I should say, it really gets everybody going, makes everybody want to push forward together, keep playing, even when things aren't looking good. Jordan Mason was the guy that I felt like everyone was inspired by. That kind of running took the pressure off of JJ McCarthy, and I think it allowed our quarterback to play more loose, knowing that he has that bruiser that is just exhausting that Bears defense, especially in the fourth quarter. We ran whatever offense we wanted. We ran the ball, we dropped back and pass, and we utilized play action extremely well. We even got a read option play. I mean, just insane. All the possibilities that are opened up when you can establish that power running game. And it all starts with Jordan Mason. Incredible stuff. We can move on to defense. Who is your defensive pride of Valhalla, Phil?
Oh, man. So I'm going to be giving my defensive pride to a guy who I was thrilled when we signed him in the offseason. This is my guy, the gravedigger, Javon.
There's
Hargrave.
so many Jonathans.
There's so many Jonathans, so many Jays.
I did it in the last pod. I was
team.
listening. I said Jonathan Hargrave, but Javon Hargrave.
Javon Hargrave. Man, oh man. It was just so great to be seeing that interior pressure just getting through. And it was consistent throughout the game. They just really couldn't wrap up Caleb during that first half and whatnot. And that was just so frustrating, I think, for all of us there. I mean, part of the reason I keep clearing my throat is because I was screaming at him to get him on his ass, because it just seemed like we were getting pressure, but we weren't able to get him down. But man, oh man, Javon Hargrave finishes with 5 tackles, 3 solo, 2 sacks, the only 2 sacks on our team, mind you, and 2 tackles for losses. So he did a great job, and he finished the job when we needed it the most in that second half. Finally put Caleb down, and yeah, just as I said, I think seeing him in this game was everything I expected from him and more, and I can't wait to see what he continues to bring throughout this year as a fundamental piece on that interior defensive line. Love Javon Hargrave.
I love Javon too. I kind of thought it might be Jonathan Allen shining more in the interior.
Yeah.
And maybe he will. I saw great stuff from Allen too. He had Williams wrapped up for a sack, and then Williams just like jumped out of his arms somehow, some way.
Right.
But Javon Hargrave was the one that really, really stood out in that defensive interior. Out on the edge is my defensive pride of Valhalla. That's my guy, Andrew Van Ginkel, the Gink man.
Gink.
When things were looking tough, I called on the Gink man. I said, we need Van Ginkel to come up with a huge play. And really, he's the type of guy that can change the entire game. And I felt like as the game went on, he got more into it, and he felt like reading the mind of Caleb Williams. Like he was in his head, he was under his skin, he was just bothering this man. Overall on the day, he had 3 tackles, a tackle for loss, and 2 passes defended, including a near pick 6, Gink 6, as we like to call it, where, as you well know, he jumps in front of a screen pass And, occasionally he can take those back for a touchdown.
We'll get one this year.
He's going to get
We'll
one.
get one.
It's amazing how often he does that. I cannot believe that quarterbacks still throw screen passes to his side of the field. He reads it every time. What I have here is that he is the smartest player on the field when he is on the field. So for me, he deserves to be an every down player. You have to have him out there because he always knows what's coming. We talked about this last week in the preview. He just knows where to be because he understands offenses, defenses, the entire game of football, probably better than anyone out there on the field. Certainly better than Caleb Williams. He knew the plays that Caleb Williams was running better than Caleb Williams. So I just cannot believe the performance from Van Ginkel. It's nothing incredible, but you just saw him shine over and over again. I think it's clear that he's the smartest guy out there on the defense. So I just love that we have Andrew Van Ginkel on our team.
Gink. I love him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so moving on to DogGonnit. This one hurts, but I'm going to be having to give mine to our guy, Jettis. Man, Jets had a couple drops in this game and a couple big ones too that would have, really helped us out, obviously. But the reason I'm just putting him in here, despite him having that huge first touchdown, which really did kind of end up becoming a defining moment, is just this is not in character for Justin Jefferson. He's a guy who consistently catches balls. He's a dependable guy. And for a team that was down their first two starting corners, I mean, Jalen, what's his name?
Johnson. Jalen Johnson, their star corner, was gone. They had another corner gone, and then they had another one get hurt in the game. And they still couldn't really get the passing game going. Whether that's on Jets or not is tough to say. It was more of a team problem, but Jets didn't really shine in this game. And when given opportunities, I couldn't believe those drops.
No.
Two of them that went right through his hands. That's not him. I mean, these were routine plays for the best in the league. I think it was a mental thing. I think it was a focus thing. Being so out of it with how poorly they were playing, I just think he had a hard time kind of getting back into it until they were making that comeback. And it's like, oh, I got to wake up. I have a game to play. We might win this thing. And so he did pull it back together. But, I mean, those drops had me saying DogGonnit, that's for sure.
Right. And I don't know. I'd like to think that maybe it was because he was out of, he wasn't really participating much in camp this last month, nursing that hamstring and then being extra careful with that. So maybe this is just, you'd like to think that a vet like JJ, despite that, would still be able to come in and not have those drops. But I'm just trying to find some kind of a reasonable excuse for that. And, overall, he'll bounce back. And, but just for all of our receivers, really just kind of very minuscule type receiving game here. It really kind of, as you mentioned with Jordan Mason, he just kind of was that offensive spark for us that really got things going there. So yeah, just JJ. It hurts to put him on there just because I remember watching CD on Thursday dropping those balls and thinking couldn't be JJ.
We said that.
Definitely saying couldn't be JJ. And, there was a lot of starting receivers this first week kind of dropping the ball and whatnot. So
maybe this is just a call league-wide to start playing starters in the preseason a little bit more. Why are we playing preseason at all if we're, not practicing live game reps against other teams other than your own in practice? I think it only makes sense to get some live game action. Like we said, 3/4 of preseason football is essentially what we saw from our Vikings offense today. So
yeah,
so glad that they were able to wake up and go out there for week one in the fourth quarter. So my DogGonnit award is actually on the defensive side. Just some poor play that I saw from a guy that I really wanted to see a lot of good things from, and I think we still will. But Jeff Okudah had me saying DogGonnit on that Caleb Williams touchdown run. Felt like he had a shot to blow him up on the 2-yard line.
Yeah.
And instead, he kind of just tossed his shoulder into him pretty weakly. Caleb lowered his shoulder and looked like the much more willing to be physical player on that play. And he ran over our guy and scored a touchdown. And I would have loved if they could have stopped him to maybe try to get a goal line stand or something. I don't think you should ever let somebody score. I understand it was like a 17-yard scramble and it was this amazing play by Caleb Williams, but it can stop right there. And then you get another down to see what happens. And I just don't feel like he gave himself or the team much of a chance with that effort on the goal line. It was pretty weak.
Right.
I think it's pretty clear that he's the cornerback 3 behind Murph and Isaiah Rodgers. I mentioned in our roster breakdown that I thought that it was going to be Jeff Okudah and Murphy on the outside with our Isaiah Rodgers playing in the slot. No, when we're in 2 corner sets, it is Murphy and Isaiah Rodgers with Okudah on the bench. He's not present. So didn't get a lot of snaps, only had 2 tackles on the day. And I just saw a few things like a miscommunication with Metellus, which allowed a Bears receiver to get at least 10 yards of separation on a big third down. I think it was 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 11, 3rd and long. And he just looked sloppy on that play. He was pointing one direction. Metellus is pointing another. Knowing how we know how well Metellus knows this defense. And I'm guessing where Metellus was pointing was the correct point, and the point from Jeff Okudah was probably not correct. So listen to Metellus. You'll play better.
Dallas.
I'm not too worried about it. I love the way the defense played in that second half. I don't want to harp on the negative things that happen. I say DogGonnit to JJ. I say DogGonnit to Jeff Okudah. But I could not be more proud of this team. I'm so happy about this. So now it's time to toss it to mystery awards.
Okay, yes, the very always anticipated mystery awards where Phil and Lucas name their own award and then they have to guess which person each other picked for the award. Can I throw you a curveball with my own?
Absolutely.
It's called the Won't You Be My Neighbor.
Won't you be my neighbor? Is it Isaiah Rodgers?
It sure is.
Hell yeah.
It sure is.
It's like a Mr. Rogers neighborhood.
I don't remember which tackle it was, Phil, but I just have this memory of you yelling, "Good shit, Raj."
Good shit, Raj.
You know what?
He was
That
good
stuck
for
with
us.
me.
I thought he played well.
Pulling
Didn't
up
see
the
anything
stats
bad from
here.
Rodgers.
Exactly, and that's
maybe allowed a catch or two, but he played tough. I like the way he tackles, and that had to have been what we were talking about.
He has the exact, pretty much same stats as Gink on the night. 5 total.
Take that.
Let's see here. Yeah, 5 total, 3 unassisted tackles, 1 total. What does TFL mean again?
Tackle for loss.
Tackle for loss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like those.
We like
more
those.
and more of those.
Had to throw that one out there.
I remember that one. He blew up a block from a wide receiver and disrupted a screen pass on that one.
That's probably what you freaked out about.
Yeah. We like Rodgers.
We love
keep
Raj.
it going, Rodgers.
Great award. I absolutely deserved. For me,
Yes. What is the Coffin Award?
the Coffin Award, Lucas.
Okay, I'm trying to guess the Coffin Award. So I'm not thinking it's Javon Hargrave because we covered him. My other thought is Coffin Corner, which is a term for punters, but I didn't think Ryan Wright punted well. You didn't give it to Ryan Wright, did you? Don't
No,
answer.
sir.
Don't answer that. Don't answer that. That's not my guess. That's not my official
Okay.
guess.
All right. Well,
That was a hypothetical question.
Okay. I'll give you one more.
Who put him in a coffin?
This is out there.
Dude, I think
This
this
out
is
there.
Eric Wilson.
I do. You know what? Eric Wilson might be more applicable to this award. Now that I say that,
We might touch on Eric Wilson. There might be an Eric Wilson mention.
okay, the Coffin Award is going to the nail in the coffin with our catch to Jalen Naylor, that long pass right before the second half. Here's why it's the nail in the coffin, guys. It got JJ McCarthy's confidence up And we were expecting them to just take a knee and go to the locker room for that half. Hey, he completes that pass, and maybe that's more on McCarthy with a great pass to Naylor. But hey, props to Naylor for not being one of those receivers to drop the ball and allowed McCarthy to feel that, yeah.
Dude, when
like,
we talk
let's-
about all preseason, but Naylor having drop problems. And
Right.
his one opportunity, he came through so clutch when we needed it.
Mhm.
And that 3 points made all the difference. They won by 3 points. So it's like, come on, you can't say that that wasn't one of the biggest plays in the game. I'm so glad that you brought that up because that had us feeling great going into the half. And I know it helped with JJ McCarthy. I understand he came out and threw a pick 6, but that's just a quarterback trying to make a play. And he didn't stop. He had no quit. I mean, we might have, it got scary in the bar. We might have been doubting him at that moment, but I don't think that there was any doubt in his mind at that time that he was just going to keep playing and give it his all. And we were going to come back and win that game. I think he thoroughly believed it.
Right. For him to complete a pass like that was huge, and just shows, yeah, I can do this shit. I can, in my home city, in front of 150 friends and families, I will come back. And then what was the deficit at one point in the score?
It was
Like, we were
never
down-
too bad. Like at worst, it was
like
20 to
13?
6. 20 to 6 is
20 to 6. Okay. So yeah, but I mean, still in the second to come back and do what he did, was incredible. But hey, props to Jalen Naylor for hauling in that ball.
Huge.
And
Big time catch.
yeah,
from Naylor.
kind of laying the groundwork for what was to come in that second half. So
You said talking more about JJ McCarthy back in his home area. Walk in your trap, take over your trap.
Come on. now.
oh, come on now.
It was his to begin with.
Had to say it. Moving on though, let me set this one up. Special teams, special players, special plays. Lucas, the Sketch Award.
What's up, brother? Phil, what's the Sketch Award? Who gets the Sketch Award?
Yeah, so I've been looking at this and thinking about it for the past 20 some minutes, and I honestly can't. I can't think. I'm trying to think of like. So you're saying it relates to Sketch the streamer, right?
Mhm.
But it's not like. Because I was thinking it's maybe someone who did something sketchy,
Could be. Who do you think it was?
I'm gonna go with. Shoot, I don't know. Aaron Jones, his play was kind of sketched. He was getting stuffed a few times, got a tutty, but I don't know. Bad guess.
I wish we had more to talk about with Aaron Jones. It's not Aaron Jones. It's Matt Daniels and his special teams unit. Sketch's famous quote is special teams, special plays, special players.
Oh,
And
so that's why
exactly
she said
what we
that.
said.
Well, see,
She gave
I
you
don't.
the quote. I was shaking in my boots over here. I thought she was giving it away. I didn't know she was going to read the Sketch quote.
I did think that was the part that I was intended to read.
I ain't
but
even mad
here
about
we
it. He
are.
still didn't get it. Okay, so
I
yes, I'm
literally don't
giving it
watch
to
Sketch.
Matt Daniels because special teams saved that game. If we would have had poor play on special teams, we would not have won that game. I
Yep.
am talking 2 for 2 from Will Riker, including a 59-yard field goal. Pure nails. That was just incredible. Ice in his veins, no fear. He looks 12. It doesn't matter. He goes out there and crushes that 59-yard field goal. I remember right before they kicked it, there was a dispute about where the spot was. They ended up bringing it back. It looked like 3 yards or something. I said, bring it back 10. It doesn't matter. And I was right. He would have made that kick from 67 yards.
It was
I love
straight
Will
down the
Riker.
middle. It was
He's
beautiful.
incredible. We saw amazing things out of the return game. We saw 3 great returns from Ty Chandler,
Mhm.
averaging, I think it was 24 and a half yards per return. And then we saw another couple good kick returns from our guy, preseason darling, Miles Price. And then 3 outstanding punt returns from Miles Price as well. This guy just gets north and south. I mean, he makes solid catches when he's fielding the ball. I remember how many times last year did we see a punt or something get bobbled and it just be sketchy, and Miles Price, he just brings it in and heads straight north, man. He is just that guy, fearless, gets through guys. He always made the first man miss, and it was like he was getting 20 yards every time that he touched the ball. So needed that when things were looking really, really dark. It felt like Miles Price and Ty Chandler and Eric Wilson, these guys on special teams, were playing with their heads on fire, man. They were playing so great. And I think Matt Daniels gets a lot of credit here for how he has his unit playing. I mean, we talk a lot about offense, and, you know, this defense has a reputation around the league as being one of the best. But let's not forget that special teams win games, and they won this game. Shout out Matt Daniels. You came through clutch for us tonight. He gets the sketch award. What's up, brother?
I think I would hope Matt Daniels in that special team squad gets game balls or something, because I would love to see that when we're done with this and we check the locker room speech.
I just am remembering now. Yeah,
giving it to Matt Daniels in this.
When we're done with this, we get to watch the locker room speech.
That's
so
right.
I already know. You saw Kevin O'Connell. They had that still shot of him after the JJ McCarthy touchdown run.
Juiced.
I want to get that tattooed on my forehead. Just Kevin O'Connell. Just, yeah. Like, that was just, I live for stuff like that, you know. And
how nice is it to see for a change of coach be just excited about
so
shit?
Excited for his guy. And,
like, as opposed to 8 years of Zim with just
generally displeased. Yeah, that was special. That was a really, really cool moment. I think we have a lot more to look forward to. I mean, this is just game one. I feel like we just played a whole season in a night. Like, I genuinely am exhausted. I don't know how our energy is going to come across on the pod. Just know we are through the roof excited for this team. We love this team. And I just can't wait to see what they do, especially considering all of us are going to be at this game next week. So hopefully they get all those preseason reps out in the first 3 quarters of this game. And, well, what do we have to look forward to, Alana?
Well, yeah, it's classic Vikings. Low lows, high highs. But after this week's hard-fought statement division win, the Vikings are back in Minneapolis for their home opener versus the Atlanta Falcons. We will all be there in person at the formidable US Bank Stadium. We will be looking to see more JJ to JJ connections. Let's get another JJ running touchdown. Absolutely loved that, because we're finally a team with a mobile quarterback.
Let's go.
How about another Thielen 2-point conversion? We
get him in there for 6. Let's go, Thielen,
my boy.
That was so awesome to see. We went crazy, wanting to see more of Will Reichard getting it done. The glory of the purple Sunday night lights. And personally, I want to see a running back touchdown or two. We are expecting a great game on a great night in Minneapolis this Sunday, September 14th. Kickoff will be at 7:20 p.m. Vibes are looking to be immaculate.
Let's get it.
We are ready to see the Vikes go 2-0 and make their place in this division this year. Signing off, I'm Alana.
I'm Phil, man.
I'm Lucas. Skol Vikes.
Skol.
Skol, baby.
Go Vikings!